Hello, everyone. Welcome to Webtoon Book Club. Today's story Shadow. I don't really have much of an intro, so we're just going to roll right into it. So, Shadow begins with a woman driving to work, and suddenly her car gets smashed, or at least the front of her car gets smashed by falling rubble. Within, she is quickly recovered by some friendly heroes. And by that, I mean by almost the typical sense of they are superhuman. One of them has some good strength to them. One of them is easy on repairing stuff. And the one, which is our main character, can erase things. Like, he is capable of erasing people's memories, but he's also capable of erasing the aspects of objects. Basically, he's a human whiteout. But they're just minor heroes, and they're part of a company called Shadow, who cleans up the messes caused by the larger heroes and villains during fights. Also, they're a completely secret organization that needs to keep everything under wraps. So they get her to safety, and then our main character wipes her memory. So she doesn't remember anything of that interaction they had with her. So back in the HQ, the boss is kind of reaming him out because he's kind of lazy and let things get a little bit out of control. So when he goes back to work, things don't stay calm for too long as a villain has actually infiltrated the facility and has started making a mess of things. But she can't be easily stopped because she has actually mind controlled one of the more stronger people in there by using a Rubik's Cube. Where the more she mixes up the color, the more it scrambles that person's brain and makes them more controllable. So our heroes have to try and stop this villain, and some of the larger heroes are trapped outside as she has covered the building in a kind of paint that is not impenetrable, but makes it harder for heroes to get in. So everybody inside is trapped in there, and nobody can get in to help them. But luckily, our ragtag team has a plan. That plan is to simply go right after her. So, making their way up to where they think she is, they end up finding a room full of goons that then chase after them. But instead of fighting them, they simply run away and throw them through the loops of the staircase, where they then run away to a different room and find the villain in there with more goons. Which then a nice, good along fight breaks out. And things are going crazy, but they break the floor beneath her, and as their plan was to hope that she was the leader to that room, which they did manage to do, and drop her into a cell in the floor below, where our main character is there waiting for her. And while they're both kind of taunting each other, and our main character starts to question things a bit, he then snatches the cube out of her hands. But she's mocking him because she knows that he can't solve it, and he has no control over it because she's the only one that's able to control it. But then he thinks, well, what will happen if there's no colors on it at all? So he erases all the colors off of it, and that seems to fix things. And she's still taunting because she's smart. She can manage to get her way back out. Well, then our character erases all of her memories. So she's basically a potato at this point. And once all that's taken care of, the boss is in. Yeah, he goes to have to see the boss, who actually kind of doesn't really congratulate him, but is at least things got handled. And still calls him lazy. Or a slacker. Either one. It doesn't really matter. So, but duty calls and they have to go off to continue to do their job, even though their own building hasn't been completely fixed yet. And that's the end of Shadow. This was a really short story, and it was a pretty short read. The episodes are decently lengthy, and there are only 12 episodes to the story as a whole. It's also not behind Daily Pass, so you can easily read the story within roughly an hour. And as far as it goes, this was a really good story, and I very much enjoyed reading it. I recommend this. I recommend reading it, and even then, again, it's only a short, hour read, so it's not like it will really take up that much of your time. So even if it doesn't seem like it might be for you, I do suggest reading it to the end, because it's not like you're going to waste that much time. And I don't really have much to go off of from that. So, like always, the list of stories is in the description below. There has been new ones added. I finished some stories, so there are new ones in the description below to pick from. So, pick the one you want, comment that down below, and I'll see you next time.